Hey friends, welcome to the Raising Boys and Girls podcast. I'm Sissy Goff.
And I'm David Thomas.
And I'm Melissa Trevathan.
And we're so glad you joined us for this conversation. Let's dive in. So today is election day, and we are recording this episode ahead of time, so not knowing the results of the election, but knowing with a lot of certainty that today will be full of many things. It's going to be full of many emotions and many thoughts and many opinions and many actions. And as we think on all those things, Sissy and I would want to remind you of, as we have reminded you many times before, that kids learn more from observation than information.
Yes.
They learn the most from watching us. And so today is full of opportunity. And as we've been talking through the emotional, social, and spiritual milestones in this season, we want to invite you to think about, as a parent, what do you want to model emotionally for your kids today? Whatever you might be feeling, whatever you might be experiencing about the results of today, the news around today, what do you want to model emotionally? And then thinking about, what do you want to model socially? So what would it look like to put feet to civility? What would it look like to be people of faith in the world today?
And please go back and listen to Michael and Melissa Ware's recent episode about that. I love that they talk about politics as an opportunity to show Jesus and what that looks like.
We couldn't have loved that conversation more.
Yes.
And will be great reminders as we think about what we want to model socially, and then thinking about what do we want to model spiritually for kids today? Like, how do we want to present evidence of our belief that God is sovereign today? How could we live that out in front of the kids and adolescents we love? So will you talk about a few more questions that could feel helpful to engage kids?
Yes. And before I do, though, I want to say the last presidential election, I sat with a lot of really discouraged kids who felt ostracized, alienated, who had really hard conversations. And I think we can often dismiss their experience and be very unaware of what's going on in their world in terms of even an election. Because, I mean, we both have talked about in recent years, one of the really cool changes we've seen with kids is kids are more social justice motivated than they have ever been. And so I don't think when presidential elections happened, when you and I were kids, we were talking about it much at school, but they are now. And so it feels really important to check in with your kids. How was the day for them? What was it like? What was the climate like? What was being said in the halls? How can you support them in the midst of that? We want to be really aware of that and aware that we continue to talk about love and how we treat each other. So thinking about all these things, thinking about what it was like last time, thinking there will be a lot of us in the world who might be disappointed with the news of what is to come. And that often disappointment, it feels like, can lead us towards gripping anger and fear, or it can lead us toward growth. And that's what we want for the kids that we love. I love that you use the word opportunity. We want this to be an opportunity to model all of these beautiful things in front of them that you talked about, and an opportunity to help us connect, to help us learn our values as a family, to get kids to connect the dots, to be forward thinking. And so we have some questions, and we're going to put them in the show notes, but that could be really fun to talk about with your kids tonight, sitting around the dinner table, or tomorrow. So if you were president, what would you want to do in your first few days in office? It could be the first week, it could be the first 100 days, whatever it is. But what would you want to do in your first few days in office? What are some of the greatest needs in our world today from your perspective? And again, a 5-year-old could have really great answers that there might not be enough candy. But anytime we ask kids questions, we are communicating to them that we value their opinion, and we're giving them an opportunity to think critically. So, what are some of the greatest needs in our world today? What kind of leader would you want to be if you were president? What would you want the new president to know is important for kids today? And then lastly, we were talking about that old quote of be the change you want to see in the world. And to ask your kids, how could you be a part of the change you want to see in the world? And come up with even some practical ways together. We love when kids have opportunities to serve because it builds awareness, it builds resourcefulness, so many of the milestones we've been talking about. David, do you know how many days until Christmas?
I don't want to know because I feel behind even as you ask that question.
Christmas is coming quick, and with the holiday season just around the corner, it's time to start getting your space ready. Making sure you have enough seating, warmer bedding, fun cookware, holiday serveware, and decor.
You know who is going to rescue me?
Who?
Wayfair. They have been saving me all year long. It's so satisfying to get great deals on things your home actually needs, especially before the holidays.
Wayfair is the place to shop for all things home. Everything from sofas to spatulas. You name it, they have it.
Right now, you can shop Wayfair's insane holiday deals, and you get up to 70% off during their Black Friday deals.
Our lake house is like a Wayfair showroom.
Our living room is a Wayfair showroom.
I shop for Patches, my nephews, my sister, and my dad. And you can earn rewards and get the best savings in the neighborhood with Wayfair's new loyalty program. 5% back on every item across Wayfair's family of brands, free shipping, members-only sales, and more. Terms apply.
Wayfair makes it easy with fast and free shipping, even on the big stuff. They'll even help you set it up, which is my love language.
Don't miss out on saving big with Wayfair this holiday. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday deals.
That's WAYFAIR.com. How was your weekend?
It was awesome. My sister and I took the boys to the lake. I had the most adorable wake up on Saturday morning. My little 2-year-old nephew came into my room shaking his Hiya Vitamins bottle like a tambourine, singing, "More, more, more."
I love how much that little guy loves his Hiya Vitamins, and he's not the only kid who feels that way about Hiya.
Typical children's vitamins are basically candy in disguise, filled with 2 teaspoons of sugar, unhealthy chemicals, and other gummy junk growing kids should never eat.
That's why Hiya was created, the pediatrician-approved super-powered chewable vitamin.
Hiya fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with the yummy taste they love.
It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else you can imagine.
Hiya is designed for kids 2 and up and sent straight to your door so parents have one less thing to worry about. And they send a bottle with stickers with the first order, which can double as a musical instrument, according to my nephews. Whit loved decorating that bottle.
And Hiya just launched an awesome new collab. Tell folks about that.
The same multivitamin that more than 1 million kids and parents love is now available in Barbie Pink with a limited edition Barbie unboxing experience, including Barbie bottle and Barbie sticker.
I also recommend checking out their new Kids Probiotic and Nighttime Essentials.
We've worked out a special deal with Hiya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hiyahealth.com/RBG.
This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to hiyahealth.com/RBG and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Wish we could be sitting at the dinner table hearing your kids answer these questions.
Me too.
I hope it leads to great discussion. And as we were thinking about closing out this episode, we had a beautiful conversation with Douglas McKelvey about Every Moment Holy, which we absolutely love those books and couldn't recommend them highly enough. And there is a liturgy for Election Day that we want to read as we close out this episode that was written by Jessica Smith Culver and Douglas McKelvey. So be encouraged by these words. If we are pleased with the results of today's election, let us yet in humility remember that every earthly authority must one day give way to your eternal rule. So let us in grace love all our neighbors well. Or if we are disappointed, let us resist all fear, anger, accusation, and bitterness, but instead renew our trust in you, and let us in grace love all our neighbors well. Whatever the outcome of this election, let our citizenship and our hope be rooted first in your heavenly kingdom, that we might live in exile here as winsome ambassadors of our soon returning King, always in grace, loving our neighbors well.
Amen.
Amen.
David, what a team we have that we get to call friends who help make this podcast possible.
Amanda Young, our operations manager.
Chris Starrett, our engineer.
Our management team at H Squared.
And we are thrilled to be a part of the That Sounds Fun network.
Our music was created by the insanely talented Dave Haywood of Lady A.
And if this podcast felt helpful to you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, all the things.
We are grateful for you and cheering you on always.